to see you again. Happy Thursday, 30th day of January 2020. The month is just flying by. Good Thursday. I'm Dan Kuntz. This is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, and we got another great show for you today. Hope so anyway. We endeavor to put together a good show. We don't always succeed, but we do our best. Good stuff coming your way. Back half of the hour, Arch Ecker, the broadcasting voice of the Wenatchee Wild, will be my guest. We paid Arch a visit a couple of days ago at the Town Toyota Center. Wenatchee Wild are on the road for a couple of games, and they're back home Saturday to take on Coquitlam at the Town Toyota Center. It's Guns and Hoses night, and we'll have tickets to give away before this program is over. So get ready to email me. We'll talk about Arch. By the way, the Wild, tough loss last night. Had a 3-1 lead going into the third period, but they couldn't hold on. We'll have highlights when we get to sports. If you park your car outside, if you don't have a carport or a garage, you have to park your car outside. You will be scraping your windshield this morning. It's chilly and frosty. 30 degrees, and it's going to be just a quiet, plain, not a lot out there, sort of late January kind of day today. Lots of clouds. Will be in the upper 30s. Again, we're just kind of hanging there, and then things change big time on Friday night and on into Saturday. It's going to be warm. It's going to be windy. It's going to be rainy, even some sun breaks. As a pretty significant system is coming our way. Quite a bit of rain for the Wenatchee Valley on Saturday and Friday night and Saturday. As a matter of fact, with some significant snowfall in the mountain passes. The passes are fine right now. That's going to change, plus everything you're used to, including Mike McNally's opinion. We got some celebrity birthdays. We got an obscure holiday to pass along, a very interesting day in history as well. And it's Thursday. Kennel cameos. Bashful the cat needs a home. Still, it's kind of a funny story. We'll talk about that a little bit later on. Let's take you around the valley with our Valley View cameras. See what we got going today. Hey, we got the cross cam up and running. Well, it's up and running. It was up and running yesterday. We just couldn't see anything with it yesterday with the low clouds and fog. That's pretty. Or as they sometimes say, that's purdy. Real purdy, isn't it? The Wenatchee Valley looking good. Still quite a bit of snow, as you can see, in the foothills up and around the Wenatchee Valley. Again, pretty quiet day today. Not a lot happening on. It's going to be dry for the majority of the area. Clouds will be hanging around. And then again, once we get to the weekend, the chance of precipitation goes up. But it's going to be in the form of rain. In fact, the snow level is going to get so high that the passes are going to get rain. And they got a flood watch for the passes because they're going to have some significant snow melt up there. Camera number 2, where are we off to, Megan? I have to guess. Oh, we're on our way to Lake Wenatchee. That would be, I don't know what, I forgot what we call that camera. The Coles Corner Nanapoc Ridge camera. That's a beautiful view of the Lake Wenatchee area. You can see the sun's just starting to get going, kissing the very hilltops. Very strange weather phenomenon yesterday. I want to point this out. Yesterday's high, Wednesday's high was 36 degrees. We hit that at 11:11 last night. Our low yesterday was 30 degrees. That happened at 11:57 last night. So in just a 46-minute time span, we had our high and our low temperature. And it all happened last night when we were all sleeping. That's just strange. You don't see that too often. Sunrise this morning, 7:30. Sunset tonight, 4:59. That's 9 hours and 29 minutes of daylight. And that means come tomorrow, Friday, for the last day of January, sunrise will be before 7:30 and sunset will be after 5 o'clock. That I like. Camera number 3. We say good morning to Kashmir from the Appalachians. Camera, good morning to our friends in Kashmir. Kashmir boys had a nice victory last night, by the way, in a non-league game. They're playing, the Kashmir girls get all the press because of Haley Van Lith and the fact that they're undefeated and hopefully making a run to the state championship. The Kashmir boys are 14-3. They're playing pretty good basketball as well. Good morning to our friends in Kashmir. Good to see you. It looks like the morning commute is going well. A lot of people, of course, live in Kashmir and work in the Wenatchee Valley, as you might imagine. Camera number 4. Hello to, I'm going to say Bear Mountain. Hey, I got one right. Bear Mountain, the Bear Mountain Golf Course. My guess is they're not open right now, so it's up to Lake Chelan. We go Wapato Point dominating your view there. Our friends in Manson, good to have you on board. Sun's just climbing up there in beautiful Chelan. This is a good time to go to Chelan if you want to avoid the crowds. It's nice and quiet and peaceful, and you can still enjoy the lake. I don't mind going up into Chelan at this time of the year. It's beautiful any time of the year. 5 minutes after the hour, let's show a slide to the National Weather Service sent our way about an hour and a half ago. It's about the wind on Saturday. It's going to be quite windy. Look at your peak gusts for the Wenatchee Valley, 25 to 30 miles an hour. And you can see the directions of the arrows. This is where the system is coming in. It's bringing Considerable precipitation with it and very warm temperatures. The high temperatures on Saturday going to be near 50, but the big story there is going to be the wind. Pretty consistent wind, most of it in the afternoon. We could even see the occasional rogue gust up to 45 or even 50 miles an hour. Obviously, in the more exposed areas, it's going to be windy. I'm talking, of course, about, like the Waterville Plateau, places like that. Maybe Chelan could be a little windier in the Wenatchee Valley. Not quite as windy farther north you go, but that's the wind story on Saturday as far as everything else is concerned. From Patriot Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling, they give your home a hug. Here's what we're looking at. And again, not a lot happening today. Lots of clouds. Snow level is going to be about 900 feet, goes up to 2,200 feet this afternoon, but there's no precipitation out there. Maybe a couple of stray snowflakes late this afternoon, early this evening. I wouldn't bet on it. We'll top off at 37 degrees. Slight chance of a rain-snow mix, and I mean the slightest of slight chances tonight, 33 for the overnight low. Things start changing on Friday. We got a chance of rain. Most of it will be in the midday hours. Lots of clouds in the mid-morning to associate with the rain, but the rain should be tapering off by the afternoon. The sun will be coming out by Friday afternoon, and we'll get up to 48 degrees. And then Friday night, we start talking about rain. It'll start raining overnight Friday night into Saturday. Rain most of the day Saturday. Lots of clouds, lots of wind on Saturday as well. And just like Friday, we'll top off near 50 degrees. So 48 on Friday, 48 on Saturday. Again, the rain event will be Friday night into Saturday. It should rain most of the day on Saturday. Saturday night, the rain tapers off. Although the snow level goes down, we're not expecting any precipitation. 28 for the overnight low. We wrap it up on Super Bowl Sunday. Super Bowl is a registered trademark of the National Football League. All rights reserved, and lots of sunshine. High of about 40. Then we cool down to more normal temperatures, as you can see by Monday and Tuesday for the early part of February. That's the kind of temperatures we should be having after the very warm weekend heading our way. So that's a look at your forecast. About 7.5 minutes after the hour, let's go up to the major mountain passes where you got no problems at all. Live shot of Snoqualmie Pass as we speak. No advisories, no restrictions, clear skies. The roadway is bare and wet, and the weather looks pretty quiet in the mountain passes today. I'll give you those details in just a little bit. Live shot of Stevens, no advisories, no restrictions, clear skies up above. Looking good. Roadway is bare and wet, a little slushy in places, as you can see at the very summit. That's all you have to deal with. Now, Blue Pass couldn't get much easier. Lots of asphalt underneath you. You're looking good. No advisories, no restrictions, and nothing really happening today in the mountain passes. The occasional light snowflake here and there. Nothing's going to start coming down out of the sky until tonight. In the mountain passes, you're looking at a rain-snow mix, but very little snow associated. And then Friday, it's going to rain a lot. In the major mountain passes, they have a flood watch that goes into effect Friday. It's going to go from Friday into Friday night. It's going to rain in the mountain passes on Friday. Going to rain Friday night. Snow level is going to be near 6,000 feet as this warm, wet system comes in. And then Saturday, it's going to be raining in the morning, and then it switches over to snow in the afternoon. And by the time the sun goes down Saturday night, 6 to 10 inches of snow. So if you're traveling to the mountain passes, or plan to anyway on Saturday, the sooner you get down the road, the better off you are, because the weather is going to deteriorate in the Cascades by Saturday afternoon and certainly Saturday evening. Saturday afternoon, 6 to 10 inches of snow possible, another 3 to 5 inches of snow possible Saturday night, and then they're done with the snow, it looks like, for the rest of the weekend. But right now, down the road you go. Looking good. 9 minutes after the hour, going to take a break. When we come back, we have your Thursday morning news. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. And we're broadcasting live this morning from Studio 8 in downtown Wenatchee on the NCW Life channel.
My name is Lacey Haggerty, and I am a nurse midwife with Columbia Valley Community Health. I love all aspects of my job because it is a profession that's very committed to empowering women to make decisions in their health care that feel best for them. It's incredibly valuable to me as a midwife that I get to take care of women throughout their whole lifespan. I hope to see you at a future visit because I know you'll love having midwifery care.
It's estimated that 1/3 of Americans do not have a financial plan. At D.A. Davidson, their advisors are working to change that because they understand the importance of planning for the future. At D.A. Davidson, they believe in partnering together to build a strategy tailored to your needs. They spend the time and have the knowledge to help keep your financial future on track. Let D.A. Davidson Financial Advisors of Wenatchee put the strength of advice to work for you.
Welcome back. 10 minutes after the hour, a rather chilly 28 degrees with overcast skies and some patchy fog. Pretty quiet day today. We'll be in the upper 30s with lots of clouds. Really not a lot happening tonight. The weather will really start changing on Friday afternoon. Friday night we'll have rain, and then Saturday rain most of the day. Lots of wind and very warm temperatures both Friday and Saturday. Here's what's making headlines. Chelan County Commissioners voted to uphold the dismissal of Sheriff's Deputy Jennifer Tyler. The three commissioners voted unanimously on Tuesday, turning down Tyler's appeal to overturn her firing. Last September, Sheriff Brian Burnett fired Tyler, a former candidate for his office who won a $500,000 lawsuit against the agency back in 2018. Tyler said she was unlawfully dismissed and sought reinstatement from the commissioners through the grievance process. Her appeal now goes to arbitration. Well, the bus drivers who carry your kids to school each and every day said, hey, they've struck a tentative agreement with the Wenatchee School District. A new contract could be in the works. The drivers' union reached the proposed deal on Tuesday in negotiations with the district. That was one day after this public rally of union members in downtown Wenatchee. Union President Andy King said a vote of membership could come in early February. If that's approved by the union, the school board would have to sign off and vote on it as well. An Orlando man who allegedly caused a head-on crash on Saturday is now suspected of DUI and vehicular assault. Washington State Patrol troopers say 22-year-old Daniel Rosas Lino had a blood alcohol content of 0.176% when he crashed his Accord into an oncoming Honda Odyssey on Highway 97. This happened near Doroga Park. Both Rosas and the Odyssey driver, Jamie Clark, were injured along with a child in Clark's vehicle. Police booked Rojas into the Okanogan County Jail on Tuesday after he was treated for a deep cut into his hand. Douglas County prosecutors say charges are pending. Well, an Okanogan County child has become the fifth young person in Washington State to die of influenza. The county's Department of Health announced the death, Tuesday, and said the influenza B strain has hit school children there very hard. An estimated 39 people in Washington have died of the flu this season, including 2 children ages 4 and younger and 2 between the ages of 5 and 17. State and local health officials continue to recommend that you get a flu shot as well as washing your hands frequently to prevent the flu. Well, Alcoa's continuing energy contract with the Chelan County PUD going to be under review this year. Alcoa's Wenatchee Works smelter has been mothballed since December of 2015. That resulted in the loss of over 400 jobs. Under the PUD contract, Alcoa receives 26% of the electric generation from Rocky Reach and Rock Island dams. Now, during the curtailment, the PUD sells unused power at Alcoa on Alcoa's behalf. The proceeds are then applied towards Alcoa's monthly contract costs. Now, although hopes to restart the smelter seem to be getting dimmer and dimmer each and every month, PUD General Manager Steve Wright remains hopeful.
Alcoa, we're certainly disappointed that Alcoa is not operating. We continue to hope that they will find a way to be able to reopen that plant, but every year that goes by, we get more concerned as to the likelihood of that plant.
It's a big chunk of money.
It's a big chunk of money. I will say I'm very happy with the fact that Alcoa has continued to be a good partner. We have not had difficult issues that we've had to resolve. Although they're not operating, they continue to pay under the contract as they're required to do. We have lots of working level issues that come up. They get resolved. They get resolved in the way that they should be resolved. It's a good partnership still, and we'll cross our fingers that that plant can come back. We did include in our performance plan this year, though, beginning to consider what should happen post 2027. What kinds of thoughts do we want to put into what comes next? Is it an extension of an Alcoa contract? Is there an alternative to that? Those are things that are we'll begin to discuss this year. They don't have to get resolved, but we should be thinking about them now.
Puget Power also has a long-term energy contract with the PUD that expires in 2031. Steve Wright commented on the status of both contracts and other PUD issues on another edition of In Focus with our special correspondent, Steve Hare, and you can watch that on demand by going to our website at ncwlife.com. Well, Link Transit is extending its contract to keep their electrical vehicle fleet charged up through the year 2025. The Wenatchee Valley Public Transit System struck a new 5-year agreement with Momentum Dynamics, that's the Pennsylvania company that installed Link's first wirelessly charged bus back in 2018. Now, under the contract, you can expect to see 10 new electric buses joining the Link fleet this year, powered by 3 new charging stations. And finally, on this Thursday morning, when the Washington State Patrol showed up at Cashmere Middle School this week, it wasn't to investigate a crime, it was to share some good news. In front of his entire class, Trooper Jeremy Weber informed Jordy Gonzalez-Perez that he would be the State Patrol's chief for a day during this year's Washington State Apple Blossom Festival.
Off our apple blossom thing in Wenatchee is we pick a student to represent every police department and fire department around. So we pick somebody out of your class to represent the State Patrol. And that's Jordy. Yeah, Jordy! So, it's super cool because Jordy gets to come with me, not right now. Eventually, you're gonna come to my office. I'm gonna dress you like me. Well, I'm not gonna dress you, so it's not gonna be weird. But you are gonna get a uniform. You're gonna come with me and meet some people at my office. You get a ride in my patrol car, talk on the radio if you want, make some noise, turn on the lights and the sirens. Super fun. But that's not all. You even get to go in the Apple Blossom Parade in a patrol car and wave at all the people in Wenatchee like, hello. And you can make fart noises with my radio. I don't mind. Totally fine. I do it all the time. So would anybody in this room want to go and watch him at the Apple Blossom kickoff? What if it was a field trip? That's happening. You guys all get to go to the Apple Blossom kickoff. However they work it out with the school, I'm going to get t-shirts for you guys. So we're going to represent Cashmere Middle School, but here's the thing. You guys have got to make signs for Chief Jordy. Okay.
That's really cool. Congratulations to Jordy. Of course, the Chief for a Day celebration kicks off the 101st Washington State Apple Blossom Festival. It'll be the Thursday before the first weekend of the upcoming festival, and that's what's making headlines. On this Thursday morning, the news team will be gathering in the bullpen and whipping out another newscast for you. And with a preview, here's the anchor, Grant Olson.
Good morning, Dan. Coming up tonight on the NCW Life Evening News, Wenatchee Valley College faculty members say their loss of confidence in college president Jim Richardson continues despite school trustees dismissing their allegations of fiscal mismanagement. We'll have our weekly Kennel Cameos feature with the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society. I'll have a look at your upcoming weekend weather forecast, and Eric Granstrom will be in with a preview of tonight's Wenatchee-Eastmont wrestling match. That and all the day's news coming up tonight at 5, 6, and 10 on the NCW Life Evening News. We hope to see you then. Dan?
Thank you, Grant. A friendly reminder, you don't absolutely have to watch it at 5, 6, or 10. It would be cool if you did. If you want to watch it whenever you feel like watching it, it'll be up and running on our website, ncwlife.com, right around 5 o'clock. And you can watch the evening news with Grant and Eric whenever you feel like it. And, of course, we have all of our locally produced programs archived. You can go back and watch a newscast from last year if you so desire, or a sporting event or commencement exercises or pageants and parades. It's all there at ncwlife.com. And while you're fishing around our website, drop us a line. There's a Contact Us icon in the upper right-hand corner of your screen. You can drop us a note that way. You can email us if you want to say hi and news at ncwlife.com, or you can go to our Facebook page, like us, give us a big thumbs up, and drop us a note via Facebook Messenger. Going to take a break. When we come back, sports, the obscure holiday, today in history, some celebrity birthdays to pass along to you. Everybody's entitled to Mike McNally's opinion. We got Kennel Cameos coming your way, and my conversation with Arch Ecker previewing Saturday night's game against Coquitlam. We're talking wild hockey back half of this hour, and I got tickets to give away, too. Stay close. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
I'm Joel Frank, the managing principal of Equus Group and Equus Capital Partners. Equus is a vision, a team of innovative thinkers, builders, and executives. Equus, driven by a passion to protect and grow its investors' wealth through income-producing real estate. Discover wealth management and commercial real estate investment opportunities at equuscapital.com or call and learn more today at 509-665-8349.
Badger Mountain Brewing is proud to announce the grand opening of our new kitchen. Come try out our new menu featuring fabulous steaks, prime rib, gourmet burgers, and seafood grilled up by experienced meat master Chef Galen Goodman. To complement your mouth-watering meal, Badger Mountain Brewing features 14 in-house crafted beers, an alcohol-free root beer infused with 11 different herbs and spices, 3 different ciders, and a great wine selection. Don't miss out on the best meats and the best brews down at Badger Mountain Brewing.
Located at 1 Orondo Avenue across the tracks from the Pybus Market.
Welcome back. 21 minutes after the hour, 28 degrees, lots of clouds, lots of fog, pretty quiet today, pretty quiet tomorrow. It's going to rain Friday night. It's going to rain all day Saturday. Also wind and very warm temperatures. Let's do sports. Cashmere used a big third quarter, opened up an 11-point lead, and they went on to an easy victory over LaSalle, non-league basketball last night. 72-50 was the final. Sam Phillips led the way. He scored 23 points. His brother Nate pumped in 20. The Bulldogs held the Lightning to just 6 fourth-quarter points en route to improving to 14-3 on the season. The Wenatchee Valley Knights exploded for 43 second-half points, and they cruised to an easy victory over Walla Walla last night. The final was 82-61. Malik Parsons led the way, 31 points. Nian Allen had 13. Abdullah chipped in 12. Now, the Lady Knights, they had a furious fourth-quarter comeback, but they fell just short to the Warriors. The final there was 66-63. Natalie Andreas led 3 players in double figures for Wenatchee Valley with 19. C.J. Ellaby made a step-back three-pointer with 4 seconds left to lead Washington State to a victory over Arizona State last night in Pullman. The final there, 67-65. There's your schedule tonight for men's college basketball. Washington will host Arizona at 6 o'clock. That's on ESPN2. Number 2 Gonzaga plays at Santa Clara at 7:30. That's on the CBSSN network. I don't have that. Also at 7:30, Central Washington takes on Simon Fraser. And for the women's schedule tonight, just the one game of note, number 12 Gonzaga will host San Diego. They'll tip it off at 6 o'clock. Slim pickings on the prep basketball schedule. Really not a lot going on. The Manson girls play at Aniad at 5:45. The boys to follow at 7:30. But it's everybody into the pool in Moses Lake. The Big Nine Swimming and Diving Championships take place today in Moses Lake. The diving championships could go into noon, followed by the swimming championships at 4 o'clock. The Caribou Trail League have a makeup wrestling matches tonight from games that were postponed due to weather earlier in the month. Okanagan will take on Omak and Chelan at 6 o'clock. Kashmir also takes on Chelan at 6 o'clock at 7. It's Omak and Kashmir. And in the CWAC wrestling tonight, Quincy will host Ellensburg and Toppenish is at Ephrata. Wenatchee will celebrate seniors tonight. It will host Eastmont. The senior celebration gets underway at 7, followed by the girls' varsity matches. Then the boys, Eric Granstrom will be joined by Dave Granstrom, his dad. There'll be Matt Side, play-by-play. You can watch it tonight following hockey at 9 o'clock. Speaking of hockey, Wenatchee Wild let one slip through their gloves on the ice at Vernon last night. The final was 4-3. Wenatchee built a 3-1 lead. Goals by Tyler Young, Quinn Emerson, and Nick Caffarelli, but the Vipers came storming back with 3 unanswered goals in the third period to win it. Arch Ecker with the call to the Wenatchee Wild Hockey Network, video courtesy of Hockey TV. Oh, I guess we don't have that. My apologies, but what I said was true. It was a tough loss. Wenatchee does continue on the road tomorrow, however. They'll be in Trail at 7 o'clock, and they return home Saturday. Guns and Hoses against Coquitlam. Of course, Arch will be my guest a little bit later on. Speaking of hockey, it's hockey night tonight on the NCW Live channel. We'll have the Wilds game against the Surrey Eagles from a couple of Saturdays ago at the Town Toyota Center. The game went into overtime. You don't want to miss that. We'll have it for you tonight at 7 o'clock. And a reminder, Coquitlam, boy, look at that beautiful sunrise. Coquitlam is going to be in town on Saturday night. It is Guns and Hoses night, so get ready to email me. Winner at ncwlife.com. Winner at ncwlife.com is our email address. It's 1 entry per email address. So if you have more than 1 email address, you can enter more than once, but it's 1 entry per email address. If you try and stuff it up, it ain't going to work. All right, I'll give these away at 10 o'clock this morning. 10 o'clock this morning. These are ticket vouchers. So you turn them into the Town Toyota Center box office. They give you 4 tickets, and it's down the road you go. Winner at ncwlife.com if you want to watch some hockey on Saturday night. And that's just some of the games that people are playing. It is the obscure holiday on this 30th day of January. Head down to the bakery and get yourself a croissant. It's National Croissant Day. Oh, that looks so good. It's flaky, it's buttery, it's good. It's good just plain. Of course, a lot of people like to have something baked into their croissants. You can put chocolates or fruits or meats or veggies or cheese, whatever you want. A lot of people use croissants to make sandwiches. There's nothing like an egg salad sandwich or a tuna sandwich or a ham and cheese sandwich on a croissant. You would think croissants would be French in origin. That's not the case. No, the Austrians were the ones who invented the croissant, but it was Marie Antoinette, the final queen of France, who made the croissant popular in France. Of course, it eventually spread all over the world. So have a croissant today. And it's a very flexible bread. I mean, you can have a croissant with butter, for breakfast, and you can have a croissant sandwich for lunch, and you can end your day with a chocolate croissant. Sounds good. And by the way, there's such a thing called a cronut. It's a cross between a croissant and a donut. You can actually buy them. Where, I don't know. Doesn't sound appealing to me. 26 minutes after the hour. Today in history. Boy, you talk about holding a grudge. This is a bit much. January 30th, 1661, so this happened 359 years ago, on the 12th anniversary of the execution of the king he deposed, Charles I. Oliver Cromwell disposed of Charles I and ran England for a while. There was no monarchy. On the 12th anniversary of the execution of Charles I, Oliver Cromwell himself was executed. He'd been dead for 2 years. They did this back in those days. They literally dug him up and they executed him, even though he was dead. That's what you call holding a grudge. Oliver Cromwell was executed posthumously on this date in 1661. Makes no sense to me. The hubris of man never fails to amaze me. January 30th, 1959, 61 years ago today, they finally built the unsinkable ship. 49 years after the unsinkable Titanic hit the iceberg and sank on her maiden voyage, the MS Hans Hedtoft. On her maiden voyage, the safest ship afloat, the unsinkable Hedtoft, strikes an iceberg in the North Atlantic, goes to the bottom. All 95 were killed. We just don't learn. That happened on this date in 1959. This is the 51st anniversary of one of the most famous rock and roll concerts ever, the impromptu rooftop concert by the Beatles alongside Billy Preston on the roof of their Apple headquarters in downtown London on a cold day in January 30th, 1969. They played for about 42 minutes over the lunch hour. The police came, made them stop. The cool thing about that, unless you were in a high-rise building, you could actually see the group play. All people on the streets could do was hear them, but not see them. The Beatles' last public performance on this date, 51 years ago today. A couple of Super Bowls were held on this date. 37 years ago, Super Bowl XVII was held in Pasadena. That comes out to Super Bowl 17. Washington defeated Miami 27-12. That was the strike year, remember, in 82? So only 9 regular season games were played that year. Perhaps the most interesting aspect of Super Bowl XVII was the opening coin toss. The captain of the Dolphins called tails. The referee flipped the coin. It came up tails, but the referee became confused because the heads and the tails looked pretty darn similar, and he had to get together with the head linesman, and they said, okay, yeah, you actually, Miami did win the coin toss. My bad. Happened on this date 37 years ago today. And this is the 26th anniversary of Super Bowl XXVIII. Roman numerals. Come on, NFL. Really? Super Bowl 28 was held in Atlanta. The Cowboys beat the Bills. The final was 30-13. It was the first and so far the only Super Bowl that featured the two teams that had played each other the year before. A rematch. Same result. Dallas won. Buffalo lost. 29 minutes after the hour. Birthdays. The most important figure in the history of the United States, he's got to be in the top half dozen. FDR, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, the 32nd president of the United States, born in the state in 1882, died of a cerebral hemorrhage at the age of 63 in 1945. They talk about the 3 most important presidents. They do this presidential ranking thing all the time. The top 3 hasn't changed in the last, 60 years? It's always been George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, and FDR. Right there in the top 3, and then pretty much everybody else. Franklin Delano Roosevelt, who permanently changed the office of the presidency of the United States. He occupied that office for over 12 years, born in the state in 1882. Happy 90th birthday to Gene Hackman, totally retired now, doesn't work anymore. He's got a couple of Oscars on his shelf. He won the Oscar for Best Actor for The French Connection and Best Supporting Actor in his role in Unforgiven. Of course, he was in Bonnie and Clyde, The Poseidon Adventure, Hoosiers, Mississippi Burning. The great Gene Hackman enjoying life, enjoying retirement. He's 90 years old today. And Phil Collins celebrates birthday number 69 today. If you tally up the work that he did with Genesis, plus his solo work and his work with other artists, if you add all of that up, Phil Collins had more top 40 hits in this country than any other artist during the 1980s. And he was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame with the class of 2010. Happy 69th birthday. Phil Collins, who started out life as a child actor before he learned how to do this. Got some things coming up. My interview with Arch Ecker, plus Mike McNally's got an opinion. Plus, we got Kennel Cameos, but a friendly reminder about Campbell's. If they extend this into February, good for them. If they don't, then you're down to just a couple more days to take advantage of the destination deal for locals only. You know what the deal is by now. You can get a room. If you live in the North Central Washington area, remind you, if you live here, you can get a room at Campbell's Resort at beautiful Lake Chelan, a gorgeous resort. It's nice, starting at just $95 a night. Whew. Yeah, go for it. Whether they extend this into February or not, I don't know. Why take your chance? All right, funny thing happened with Kennel Cameos. Megan and Rachel went and filmed their segment at the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society with a really cool dog. But before we could air it this morning, the dog got adopted. Kennel Cameos is so good, they're adopting animals before we even air the segment. The Bashful the cat still needs a home. It's Kennel Cameos with Megan McPherson.
Hey guys, Megan here with the NCW Live channel. We're here with Jenny, the volunteer coordinator at the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society, and Bashful's joining us this week. He's not really that bashful though, is he?
He's not.
Yeah.
He's very sweet. He's we think between 3 and 5 years old. He probably would like a quiet house. He loves to be pet. Holding's okay. I mean, he's kind of chill and just does whatever. But he does love his pets. He likes quiet, so probably not any small kids. But yeah.
And what should someone do if they're interested in
They
adopting
should
him?
definitely come on down and meet Bashful, and he's actually ready to go today.
The Wenatchee Valley Humane Society is located at 1474 South Wenatchee Avenue and is open Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Saturday and Sunday from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Give them a call at 509-662-9577 or visit their website at wenatcheehumane.org. This has been Kennel Cameos at the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society.
You don't have to be a member to enjoy the view and dine-in style at Highlander Bar and Grill in East Wenatchee. Open 7 days a week, Highlander Grill offers breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Dine in or take it to go, our friendly staff is here to serve you. Reservations recommended for Friday night's prime rib dinner. Call for live music dates. Hi, I'm Shalane, site coordinator for Highlander Grill. Give me a call to schedule your event today.
I'm Tom from Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. At Alpine Air, we think of ourselves as customer service-oriented retailers. When you make an appointment, please visit our store, meet our people, see our shop. We are serious about heating and air conditioning. Carrier and Alpine Air are offering huge factory rebates and financing options for all your needs. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air. Call for your free replacement estimate. Heat and air, call Alpine Air, 662-6846.
Reinventing FaceTime here at Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa, a new family-owned and operated business located in the heart of downtown Wenatchee. Owner Andrew Vickery brings forth years of experience to help you transition your backyard into a place where memories are made, family time is looked forward to, and friends are always welcome. Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa offers many different styles and sizes of artesian spa. Let us help you add hydrotherapy to your already healthy lifestyle.
Contractors, furniture makers, and weekend do-it-yourselfers around North Central Washington will tell you that Lombard's Hardwood Supply is the place to get what you need. Lombard's full millwork shop can handle jobs large or small. Lombard's has a full line of interior and exterior doors available, as well as custom barn doors. From alderwood to zebrawood and everything in between, it's Lombard's Hardwood Supply on School Street in Sunny Slope. Like us on Facebook and check out our monthly special.
Coming home should never be a chore. Let Merry Maids of Wenatchee customize all your cleaning needs. Weekly, bi-weekly, special occasion. Do you have a vacation home that needs cleaning? We clean them too. Locally owned and operated, let Merry Maids do the cleaning while you focus on your family and friends. Merry Maids has special offers to fit your budget. Request your free cleaning estimate today. 509-663-1710.
Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, I just read a friend's Facebook post, and they asked if Cliff Notes were still a thing, because he mentioned them to a younger person who didn't know what he was talking about. Now, this made me think of how much other stuff I have mentioned to millennials that, to their loss, they never heard of, like Sophia Loren, believe it or not, Aesop's Fable, the Leaning Tower of Pisa, Michelangelo's Moses, his statue David, and others. Farrah Fawcett, film noir, and of course the two best car chase movies ever filmed, Bullet and The French Connection. Millennials, they miss out on all this stuff. That reminds me of when my kids were younger, and when I wanted to share a classic movie with them, they'd moan, "Oh, black and white, we don't want to watch this." Oh gosh, it's painful just thinking about all the stuff that our younger generation has missed. Man, kids these days. This is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and that's my opinion.
The two hottest pickups in America are at Town Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram. First, the Ram 1500 with back-to-back Truck of the Year awards from Motor Trend, and now the Car and Driver 10 Best list for 2020. They call it a luxury sedan with pickup capabilities. Ram is on a roll now with third-generation eco-diesel power. Next up, the Jeep Gladiator, also a 2020 10 Best model based on the new award-winning Jeep Wrangler. It has options and capabilities that no other truck can offer. Two more reasons when it comes to buying a truck: there's no reason to leave town.
What's your Automocha emergency?
It's a Frappuccino mocha with whip.
The espresso shakes are my most favorite because I can get any flavor. Peanut butter chocolate for pita.
Definitely the espresso shakes. My favorite is the mocha for pitas.
A peach Red Bull.
Welcome to another edition of Harrod's Cookhouse Field to Table.
Outdoorsmen have been providing fresh food for American family tables for generations. Hunting and fishing is a way of life for our family, and we enjoy cooking delicious fish and game meals.
Oh, that's awesome.
We want to share our recipes with you. This is Harrod's Cookhouse Field to Table.
Watch Harrod's Cookhouse Field to Table Saturdays and Sundays at 5:30 and 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. on the NCW Life channel.
Did you know that nearly 50% of pet poisoning cases involve human medications and prescription drugs? Sometimes the culprit's a curious dog, but cats get into their share of trouble as well. Other times, pet owners mistakenly give their pets their own medications that are safe to people but toxic to their pets. Dr. Shauna Baez and her staff care about your pets. Go to pawsandclawsvh.com for a complete list of medications to avoid or call 888-PAWS.
Welcome back to Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on this Thursday. I am Dan Kuntz. The gentleman to my immediate left is making his very first appearance on this award-winning television program.
I'm so excited I got up early.
Yeah, it is the broadcasting voice of the Wenatchee Wild, Arch Ecker. They're on the road. They're at Trail on Friday, and then on Saturday, my personal favorite of all the promotions is Guns and Hoses. Nothing wrong with Pink at the Rink, which I love, and almost all the promotions that have been part of the Wild family and part of the Wild experience for the last 11 years is fantastic, but Guns and Hoses is my personal favorite. And on top of that, Coquitlam, the team with the highest point total in the whole darn league, is coming to town, Arch.
Well, you know, it's funny. They say that sports is cyclical, and if you have a rough year, well, just give it a couple of years and it'll turn around. Coquitlam is the perfect embodiment of that ideal because, several years ago, maybe around 2011 or so, they were an outstanding franchise, and then when the Wild joined the BCHL, not so much. Coquitlam has really struggled for a few years there, but all of a sudden they've hit the ground running, and they've been hot since the season began, pretty much wire to wire, right up at the top of the standings.
They've already clinched a playoff spot, as did the Wild, by the way, last weekend, and they've already won their division, which you really don't see at this point in this point of the season. Usually, you've clinched your playoff spot, but to already clinch your division with a lot of games left to go, that's pretty impressive.
It is. You know what? I mean, they're obviously a great team. Now, we faced them once already this year. We did play them in their barn. When we played them there, they were, at the time, undefeated at home, and that continued for a little while, but they've actually, up until about a week or two ago, they ended up losing 2 in a row at home, so there's a blemish on there eventually, but boy, I tell you, that's tough to go a whole year. Of course, remember, the Wild did that a few years ago.
Yeah.
We actually went, I think it was like 36 games without a regulation loss at home, which is unfathomable, which was tremendous. At any rate, the game we played against Coquitlam in their building, we lost 4-2, but boy, it was a great game. We were right in it, right in the thick of it, and so, when the puck drops here on Saturday night, our guys they're gonna feel okay. I don't think they're gonna be, starstruck by, oh boy, this is the best team in the league. Well, what's going to happen?
Yeah.
It's like, it's like, hey, we got this. And you know what? And the Wild have every reason to hit the weekend with some confidence. They've really been playing well of late.
Yeah, I absolutely they have. They've been playing, I think, very good hockey. As we mentioned before, they clinched a playoff spot with that shootout victory over the weekend that went to, 9 different shootouts? I mean, that...
Yeah, it was a 9-round shootout,
Yeah.
so it's supposed to be like best of 3, but it was tied at that point, so it just goes back and forth until there's a winner, and Hunter Hastings got that game winner, and boy, what a great moment for that young man.
I had interim coach Chris Clark on my show last week, and we actually talked about the overtime format for the BCHL, which changes for the playoffs, by the way. The overtime format in the playoffs is not the same as it is in the regular season, but I asked him, do you like the way that they have the overtime set up in the regular season in the BCHL? He says he does, except he just despises shootouts. he wants it to be decided on the ice, whether it be 4-4 and 3-3. That's how he prefers from a coaching standpoint. From a hockey fan and a hockey announcer, your opinion?
Well, I'll tell you my take on that. And when games used to end in ties, that threw me into a tizzy. I just did not care for games ending in ties. So using a shootout to decide how to end a game, I was okay with it. And to an extent, I remain okay with it. I will say this. Now, the advent of bringing in 3-on-3 in overtime, that was a bit of a game changer. Now, I like that best. Now, if they were to come in next year and say, you know what, and they do now go to 3-on-3 initially for the 5-minute period, but if they were to say, we're going to go 3-on-3 until someone scores, I'd be great with that. I think that would be fantastic. And I know that, they have the concerns of how long games will run if they try to do it that way. But, back when it was, when they were doing 5-on-5 overtimes, yeah, the games could go exponentially long. Not that they would very often, but the possibility was there, and it did happen enough for it to be a concern. But I think if you go 3-on-3, someone's going to hit the back of the net sooner than later. They may not do it in 5 minutes, but odds are they'll do it within 8 or 9, and then everybody goes home happy.
As Clarkie said, from a coaching standpoint, it's just a killer because any little loose puck, any little thing off the skate, and the game is over when you're doing 3-on-3 because it's just wide open hockey.
It's a lot of fun, though. It's so fun to watch, and it really is. It's a game of transitions, and it's 2-on-1 one direction and 2-on-0 going back the other way, and holy smokes. And it's really exciting, and it's fun for the fans, and it does give you a clear-cut winner, and it's decided on the ice. So I'm a big fan of 3-on-3 overtime.
I know I've asked you this before because we have one of the finest facilities in the British Columbia Hockey League. The South Okanagan Event Center, the home of the Penticton Vees, is a beautiful arena as well. But when you're on the road, what are some of the places that you really enjoy visiting from a hockey announcer standpoint? They treat you right. You have a good infrastructure. It's a cool rink. What are some of your favorite rinks outside of the Town Toyota Center in the league?
The first one that springs to mind is definitely Vernon. The reason I like Vernon is the vantage point is tremendous. They've got a nice wide open ledge area. They always show up with coffee and donuts early for everyone. There's a restroom facility right up there that's about 25 feet behind me. It's right there. And that's handy because I'll tell you what, some of the places you got to go down a flight of stairs and you got to run across, and and down through the concourse and across the food court.
Just to get to the restroom.
Just to get to a restroom, which is, that can be a little problematic.
Because
at
once
times,
they
right?
drop the puck in the first period, you're not going anywhere. I mean, you're in your
No,
broadcast location for the most part, even during the intermissions, right?
Yeah, because the breaks are relatively short. And There's a
Right.
lot to be done in those intermissions, which people don't realize. They think that's when you put your feet up and light the cigars, of which I must have millions of cigars because all of the the thank you boxes.
Oh, sure.
from
Yeah,
all the
yeah,
adoring
of
fans,
course.
right? Yeah. No, it's there's a lot going on. There's trying to update on the Twitter and trying to review videos and look back over things that happened earlier in the period. So it keeps you occupied for sure.
So that's one of your favorite locations. Any other barns, as you called it, in the BCHL that stand out?
Oh, gosh. I don't know. I mean, there's pluses and minuses to a bunch of them. The Victoria barn is pretty nice, but it's weird. The broadcast spot, you're kind of in a bit of a fishbowl.
Yeah.
So there's glass all around you, so you're sort of sequestered from the ambiance of the building. So that's, like I said, it's got a plus and a minus, but the spot you're calling from is good and the vision's good. Boy, on the flip side of the coin, there's a handful of spots where, because of camera people and different things, there's entire sections of the rink which are obstructed and I just can't see. You're looking off to your left and you got the guy over there, he's got his laptop open and there's a camera guy with a tripod and you can't, so it goes in the corner and you're like, although, it's
You
funny.
could have fooled me. I listen to you all the time, and I'm sure that's happened on more than one occasion when I'm listening to you, and you can't see what's going on, but your tongue keeps working.
It's fantasy hockey. I just go, well, maybe the guy. Well, that's when you get those generic things like, and the battle continues in the corner. Although in a couple of cases, when they do go into those blind spots, some of them have a video screen like we do, and even though it's at the other end of the rink, I'll have to turn around and look, and I can kind of see at least who's in there and what's happening. But the other thing also is, it's interesting that the players know where the puck is. So even if I can't see what's going on, I can look at the players, I can look at their body language, and I can tell what just happened. The puck just got chipped up off the glass or whatnot, just by the way the guys react. So I don't know. I guess if you hang around long enough, you figure out things like that, right?
Before we jump into Guns and Hoses night, a quick reminder, which is, by the way, of course, Saturday night with Coquitlam in town. Playoff tickets are on sale now. They punched their ticket over the weekend. You can get your playoff tickets right now for Wenatchee Wild Hockey. Don't know who we're going to play, how many games, where we're going to end up in the standings, but you can at least get your tickets.
Right. So the way they set it up is there's a possibility of playing up to 16 home games if you run the table and if all the series go the full distance. So what we do is we set up a strip with one ticket for each potential game, and they're $10 tickets. So it's $160, and you buy your tickets for the whole stretch. Now let's say, for example, we get through 3 rounds. Maybe we only play 10 games. 6 of the games remain unplayed, not unattended, unplayed. And if 6 of the games are unplayed, then that's $60 that you have in credit, which rolls over into your season tickets for the following season. So, you're not losing money ever.
Which is a good thing.
Yeah, and you get your seat locked in for the duration of the playoffs, so you don't have to worry about it.
Right. Guns and Hoses night. I just love it. It's a tribute to the local law enforcement, a tribute to the local firefighters. All the usual shenanigans apply, including my personal favorite, the tug of war is back.
Well, it's funny you bring that up. My understanding at this point is that may not happen.
Oh, okay.
And I don't know exactly why, but from my understanding, one or the other groups of participants, or maybe both, they just decided that wasn't going to happen this year.
Okay.
Which, personally is a little disappointing.
But the players are still going to wear their special jerseys, right? You're still going to auction those off, that stuff.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Well, you know what else? And at 5 o'clock, the police will play against the fire in their hockey game.
That's funny.
Isn't that something to watch?
If you want to see middle-aged men who are in pretty good shape fall down a lot, it's
they
entertainment.
do a good job.
They do, actually, yeah.
It's reasonable hockey to watch.
Yeah.
There's some crisp passes, some great shots. It's a lot of fun.
It is. It is a lot of fun. And, of course, there's all of this afterwards, as we mentioned before. They're going to auction off special jerseys. They're going to auction them off after the game, which goes into a special fund.
Yeah, for the Guns and Hoses Foundation.
Guns and Hoses Foundation.
Yeah. So there's 6 of them that will be auctioned off live on the ice right after the game. Now, prior to all of that, the parents of the players and their billets are given an offer to purchase them outright.
Okay.
And so some of them do get snapped up that way. and then the remainder are put on blind silent auction down on the concourse, so people can go in there and bid on whatever jerseys happen to be available at that point, and that's how it goes. And then we just put it all together. And you know what? Something that some folks may know and not everyone is well aware of is our ownership, David and Lisa White. A lot of times they'll just end up matching whatever's raised. I mean, I'll tell you, there's a lot of owners in junior hockey, and some of them do it right, but ours, man, I could not be prouder.
Yeah, David is one of them that does it right. David was in town, as a matter of fact, last week.
Right.
It was good to see him. And then the regular season's almost over. I can't believe how quick it's gone. It's crazy. We just have a couple more homestands left.
We were just having preseason games like 2 hot minutes ago. Yeah, it's astounding. I mean, we're sending that fan bus up to Penticton at the end of the year. That's going to be fun. That'll be a big weekend.
Yeah.
Penticton's they're in the driver's seat to lock down another division title. But, for the Wild, I mean, we're right in the thick of battling for home ice advantage in the playoffs. So, yeah, it's probably going to come down to that final weekend. It's between us and Vernon and Salmon Arm. And
yeah, they're right there. They're third, fourth, and fifth, but they're just a couple of points separate third to fifth. So there's some wiggle room there. They can bump up.
Like back in the middle of the week, there was just 1 point separating 3 teams. So, it's hairy.
Again, it's Guns and Hoses night. The Coquitlam Express are in town. They have the best record in the British Columbia Hockey League. They're going to give the Wild a challenge, but the Wild will be up for it. And I got 4 tickets for Saturday night, this Saturday night, February 1st. If you want to go see the Wenatchee Wild take on Coquitlam and enjoy the Guns and Hoses festivities and all that good stuff, winner at ncwlife.com. Winner at ncwlife.com. 1 entry per email address, please. If you have more than 1 email address, you can enter more than 1 time, and I will do the drawing at 10 o'clock this morning at the end of the rerun of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Winner at ncwlife.com. The winner will get 4 ticket vouchers for this Saturday night. Anything else on your mind, Arch, while I have you here?
I did want to mention I appreciate your multi-purpose little decorative things here, because on this side it says NCW Life, but if you turn it around to the other side, it still says NCW Life.
Isn't that cool?
That is really
Isn't that
cool.
Hey, we spare no expense.
Yeah, clearly. I mean, hats off to everyone there.
Yeah, in fact, I got my W-2 a couple of days ago. I make an incredible amount of money. It's just crazy.
Yeah, it looks impressive when you stack it up over a year, right? You're like, that's not so bad. What every other week you're like, oh my God, this is terrible.
Arch Ecker making his very first appearance on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, and
I make it back.
I believe we get to see you in a couple more weeks as we get towards Valentine's Day.
You'll see someone. And those are the last 2 home games. That's it. You know what? So on the 14th is Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Bring your date to the hockey game. Hey, what's up? Yeah. Well, that'll impress her, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like, how do I impress the girl? Bring her to the hockey game. That's what I'm talking about. And then the next night is our famous bobblehead night. It's our fantastic fan alley. We got a lot of stuff we're giving away. We've got, during that weekend, that car giveaway that we've been working on all year long with Town Toyota. That's going to happen out here. So plenty going on. The Walt bobbleheads, of course, with Ag Supply on that last game. So we play Vernon and Chilliwack, so that's 2 big games as well, always entertaining, because Vernon, clearly, obviously, a division rival that we're battling with for playoff position, but Chilliwack, we just hate them because they're Chilliwack.
And you got to hate somebody.
Yeah, well, I mean,
you got to hate somebody.
We've hated them for a long time.
We need one more item before, because we want to give Velocity Insurance Group a shout-out, because they're the game sponsor, by the way, for Saturday against Coquitlam. We can't forget about that.
And they're giving away youth hockey jerseys. They're just for the kids, not for the diminutive kids like you. But for the kids. They're for the kids.
For the kids. It's all about the
kids. They're crisp looking. They're really nice.
Okay.
So, the first 1,000 little scrubbers that come in here, they're going to get themselves one of those jerseys, and I'm sure they're going to go home happy.
They will. A Wild victory over Coquitlam would be even better. That'll be the best gift of all.
Absolutely.
Arch, have a good weekend. We'll talk to you soon, my friend.
Sounds great. Thanks for having me.
Arch Ecker making his very first appearance on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We'll be right back.
Boating in the Wenatchee Valley starts at Bob File Boats and Motors. See their full line of Crown Line boats. Crown Line features the Forte gel coat, which perfectly accentuates the sporty silhouette of this boat. Its contours are further enhanced by Crown Line's patented fast tab hull design, which not only embraces the distinctive sports car styling, but also ensures a safe and comfortable ride. See Crown Line boats at Bob File Boats and Motors on Sunset Highway in East Wenatchee or online at bobfile.com.
Bob File Boats and Motors, we're dealing. Bob File's gonna make you smile.
Hi,
Hi, I'm Lisa Bradshaw, host of Life with Lisa Bradshaw. I just want to thank all of our viewers for tuning in and watching the show. I leave on the next Don't Wait Project tour in March, and in the meantime, we have plenty of local interviews for your viewing pleasure. Thanks again for watching Life with Lisa Bradshaw. It's not about my life, it's about yours. For more information about showtimes or about the show, visit ncwlife.com.
My name is Brian Thorpe. I own Global Car Care in Wenatchee and have been here for about 25 years.
Brian started Global Car Care as Brian's automotive alternative on Orondo Street.
Some customers were following Brian since Brian's automotive time.
No, we're just grateful to be part of this community. This is where I grew up. We want to do our part to be a valuable part of this community. We want to thank you for trusting our business for 25 years.
You love to help others. You need a solid career. You can have it all with help from Charter College. Our 10-month medical assistant program prepares you to work in healthcare settings like physician offices, rehab centers, and clinics. You'll learn to take patient vitals, assist with exams, administer injections, and maintain medical records. When you're ready to launch a rewarding healthcare career, visit chartercollege.edu because we work to get you to work.
And we're back here live from Studio 9 here in downtown Wenatchee. Overcast, 28 degrees, upper 30s for the high today. Pretty quiet day, all things considered, weather-wise, before things get quite active. It's going to be quiet today and quiet tonight, and most of the day Friday. Then we've got a big warm-up coming our way. Let's show you a slide that the National Weather Service provided to us about the winds we are expecting on Saturday. Going to be quite windy. As a matter of fact, we can see a couple of rogue gusts up near 50 miles an hour. It's a possibility. Probably not going to happen here for the Wenatchee Valley, but as you can see, pretty good, 25 to 30 miles an hour. Now, these are peak wind gusts, not sustained wind. The sustained winds will be closer to 15 to 20, maybe 25 miles an hour. But again, every once in a while, we get one of those kind of deals. So look out for some significant snowmelt, especially in the Cascades, because the Cascades are not only going to be very windy, but it's also going to be very rainy up in the Cascades. They have a flood watch, as a matter of fact, for the Cascades. They're going to get upwards of 3/4 of an inch of rain this weekend as the snow level goes up to about 7,000 feet. That's pretty darn rainy, especially for late January, early February. Let's take one more look at your weather forecast all the way through. Here we go. Again, not a lot happening today. There's a slight chance of some late afternoon, early evening snow. I wouldn't doubt on it. Right now, the snow level is at about 900 feet, but there's no precipitation out there. It's eventually going to rise to about 2,200 feet. Again, just the slightest chance of a stray snowflake. Outside of that, just cloudy and cool. High of about 37 degrees. Tonight, chance of rain in the late hours, but then gradually we'll have partly cloudy skies with a low of about 33. Tomorrow, we have a pretty good chance of rain, most of it coming down in the mid-morning to mid-afternoon hours. Lots of clouds in the mid-morning, then sunshine in the afternoon, so kind of a mixed bag there. But look how warm we're going to get tomorrow. 48 degrees as this warm weather system comes in and really warms us up. Friday night, rain. Most of it in the overnight hours. So while you're sleeping Friday night, it's going to be coming down pretty good. Overnight low of about 38. Saturday, you'll wake up to rain, and it's going to rain pretty much all day on Saturday. Should be tapering off around 3:30 in the afternoon on Saturday. As I mentioned before, it's going to be quite windy at times on Saturday as well, and we'll top off at 48 degrees on Saturday. Saturday night, the rain levels off. The snow level goes down, but the system is going to be petering out, so we're not expecting any snow Saturday night. 28 for the overnight low. For Super Bowl Sunday, Super Bowl is a registered trademark of the National Football League, all rights reserved. Lots of sunshine, high of about 40 degrees, looking good. And then we have typical February weather. Remember, February comes knocking on our door come Saturday. So it's going to cool down. It's going to be kind of normal weather, really, on Monday and Tuesday for most of north central Washington. By the way, the mountain passes look pretty good right now. No advisories, no restrictions on any of the major mountain passes. You're good to go. No real snow expected today. They're expecting some rain tonight. They're expecting rain on Friday, a lot of rain on Friday night as the snow level goes way up to about 6,000 feet. So rain Friday into Friday night, which is why they have a flood watch. And then it starts snowing on Saturday afternoon. It's going to snow very hard in the mountain passes Saturday afternoon and into Saturday night. So you were warned. Everybody have a fantabulous Thursday. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.